Hello, in this video I will go over TransformCopy. It's a plugin for Nuke that allows copying one transformation, so any Nuke's native transformation nodes, or a stack of them, onto another image. It is somehow similar to a 3D transform geonode, but for 2D. To demonstrate the use of it, I'm using this plate, and on the left I have a pink rectangle being tracked to the shot by using a card 3D. And it's using the camera track shot and an axis that is located where the building is. To use the transform copy, I will first delete the rectangle just to avoid confusion and bring a new element, a checkerboard. What I have to do right now is just bring a transform copy, connect the transformation to the transform pipe, and the image I'm using to the image pipe. And that's it. The real power comes in cases when we need to use more than one element with the same transformation, like I'm showing in this case. By centralizing the transformation, it is easier for me to control it. It is less prone to error to change one place, say in case I need to update the camera or even the plate. And it's easier not to think of linking different knobs or thinking of different formats. To explore the tool's knob, I will use a color wheel image. In this case, it's a square half-K resolution. The node is divided into 3 sections. The bottom part controls the overall size and format. Like the reformat node, the resize options will scale the input to match the transform node. None will do no scaling, width will match the width, height will match the height, and distort will squeeze the input to match both. The bounding box is next, and it's in case we have a very large bounding box. We can either leave it as it is, or we can clip it to match the format. We also have an extra option to do extra padding. We can also just drop the bounding box altogether. Lastly, the format knob will change the output format, in case you would like to use the transformation in different resolutions. The middle part is the same as most transformation nodes. It has filtering, motion blur samples, and a shutter speed control. The top part is the heart of the tool. It gives extra control on the transformation. The inverse button will invert the transformation. For example, if I will connect the plate as an input, it will get stabilized to the plane of the transformation. So it's like projecting an image on a card in 3D and rendering it in a UV space, but with no need for scan and render. It's great for using it as a tool to paint on a plate, rotating it, or maybe filtering an image without changing the filter window size. By placing the original transformation afterwards, we can place this element back in the shot. The reference button is similar to the reference option in a tracker node. We can say it converts the transformation from an element space to a shot space on a specific frame. It is useful when we have a rotor or a matte pane that is already positioned on the shot. So on this reference frame, the rotor or the matte paint will not get modified, but it will get tracked to the rest of the shot in a relative way. It is also useful for cloning or cleaning up a shot. By frame holding a specific frame, we can track it back to the shot easily. We can also combine the invert and the reference button together, which will stabilize the plate relative to a specific frame. It might be useful to liven up a matte plane using the plate that way. The last option enables us to do retime on the transformation. It is a simple way to keep the retime updated in a real time. So if I link the input frame knob from time warp node to our retime knob, the transformation will always stick to the plate. And lastly, the bake button will bake for us a transformation into corner pin node, either into points or in matrix form. The last feature is the ability to drive the transformation using a camera. We can connect the camera directly to the TransformCopy, and based on the camera window, we can zoom, pan, or rotate the plate. This is most effective when there is a need to align plate to a CG. An example would be when a client is closing in on a plate and the render is already matching the edit. We can use the same CG camera to drive the plate. We can also use it to maximize our scan and render by zooming in on the element and then placing it back into the shot. It's worth noting that each node is independent. Even when placing them in a chain, each node has its own input and output format, and a transformation is relative to it, like I have in this case. So if a CG render comes in half resolution, or a Retime in a different format, or a Retime from a different vendor, it's easy to align them up all together. That's it. I hope you'll find this tool useful. The download link is in the description below. I'm releasing the tool with the source code, so if you can, please consider donating. Thanks for watching.